And I will say this, his rant cursed Angel Reese because she proceeded to have the absolute worst game of her life.
What if Angel Reese is a fraud? Angel Reese is a sociopath. She's an idiot. She accused, while getting her ass beat by 35, she accused the Indianapolis Fever fans of racist, monkey noises, whatever. They're moving heaven and earth to investigate Indiana. My city, Indianapolis. About my town, the place where I live. I go to games. I go to dinner. I know people that were sitting in the area and they said, bull. Here's the statement. We have not substantiated it. Last year, she lied about getting off of a bus and they were blocked from getting into their hotel room. Video turned out, well, to show one guy asking one question. Angel Reese is a liar, and she is never, ever, under any circumstance, to be taken at her word.
The Bayou Barbie was supposed to take the WNBA by storm. Angel Reese, the queen of swagger with a championship ring and a portfolio of high-fashion endorsements, was marketed as the fiery, unapologetic face of the league's new era. She had the charisma, the confidence, and the media spotlight ready to launch her into superstardom. But what if the storm wasn't a takeover, but a self-made disaster? She had the fame, the money, and the machine behind her. So why is her career already showing signs of a shocking collapse before it's even truly begun? The truth is far more complex and troubling than a few missed shots.
Angel Reese picking up right where she left off, breaking more WNBA records, but unfortunately for Sky fans, it came in the form of a loss, 99-74. The Chicago Sky, you're seeing that right, 9 points in the second quarter, 9 points. Folks, if a team scores less points than you have fingers, that's bad.
The hype surrounding Angel Reese was nothing short of monumental. Before she even played a single professional minute, she was gracing the Met Gala red carpet, signing lucrative deals with brands like Reebok, and being positioned by the WNBA as a foundational pillar of its future. She wasn't just a basketball player, she was a cultural phenomenon. Her outspoken personality and unapologetic brand were designed to create a compelling anti-hero to Caitlin Clark's girl next door persona. The league and the media sold the public a story of a fierce competitor ready to dominate. But while the marketing machine was printing money, something deeply alarming was happening on the hardwood. The brand was writing checks that her skills simply couldn't cash.
But holy Lord, when I tell you the numbers are the numbers. It's the worst she's ever played, probably since she was in elementary school. Probably the worst since elementary school.
The Chicago Sky have made it clear that they want Angel Reese to focus on being a screener on offense. For those that haven't played basketball, that's code for we don't want her shooting.
At this point, when Angel Reese gets the ball in the paint, the question isn't, will she score?
It started with a few off games, but it quickly spiraled into a full-blown layup apocalypse. This wasn't just a rookie slump, it was a statistical anomaly that left analysts and fans baffled. In one game, Reese went an astonishing 0 for 7 from within 4 feet of the basket, a display of inefficiency almost unheard of for a professional forward. The misses weren't contested jump shots. They were point-blank layups, bunnies that are fundamental to the game. It was a complete basketball blackout. At this point, the question wasn't if she would score, but if the ball would even touch the rim. This wasn't just about a player finding her rhythm. It was a fundamental breakdown in the most basic aspect of scoring, a sign that the problem was far deeper than just first-year jitters. But a few historically bad games don't sink a career. What couldn't be ignored were the damning whispers coming from inside her own locker room.
Angel Reese needs to be better at basketball. I'm not talking about as a person. I'm not talking about as a podcaster. I'm not talking about at the Met Gala. She needs to be a better player if we want this rivalry to be able to have some staying power. She had a very, very busy offseason, but at this moment, it does not seem like the offseason involved a lot of Mikan drills of left-handed layups. Right now, Angel Reese, she is a wildly famous rebounder.
I heard Angel Reese say, people aren't watching the WNBA just because of one player. They're watching it to see me too. Well, tickets were $86 against Caitlin Clark, but now that she's injured, plummeted just to $25.
While fans were debating her shooting woes, the Chicago Sky's coaching staff was already making a silent but brutal decision. Reports surfaced that the team wanted Angel Reese to focus on being a screener on offense. For those who don't know basketball, that's code for stay out of the way and don't shoot. For a player marketed as a franchise cornerstone, being relegated to the role of a glorified human shield is the ultimate demotion. It's a quiet admission from your own team that they don't trust you with the ball in your hands. The message was clear. Her offensive game was becoming a liability. This wasn't just about her struggling. It was about her actively hurting the team's chances to win. With her own team trying to hide her on the court, Angel's off-court behavior was making her impossible to ignore, and the situation was about to get much worse.
You made some comments about Angel Reese.
Yeah.
You called her garbage compared to Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Explain.
Listen, man, and again, I will emphasize this every day of the week, twice on Sunday. I love my people. I love black people. Mwah, 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 mwah. But I think sometimes we do play the race card too much, or when it's not necessary, because everybody's trying to make this about a, come on, black man, protect the sisters, brother. This ain't racial. This is about sports. This is about athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Caitlin Clark's game, who's very reminiscent of a Steph Curry based on her range and shooting the three, plus everything else she does. And then you look at Angel Reese, stop it. Stop it.
As her on-court performance crumbled, her public persona began to create a PR meltdown. Instead of showing humility or a desire to improve, Reese often appeared defiant, posting cryptic messages on social media and making statements that many interpreted as playing the victim. She famously claimed that people weren't just watching for Caitlin Clark, but for her too, a statement that felt more like a desperate plea for validation than a confident declaration. This attitude created a jarring disconnect. She carried herself like an MVP, but her stat lines looked more like a bench warmer's. This combination of on-court failure and off-court arrogance became toxic, turning potential fans against her and fueling a narrative of her being all hype and no substance. And this firestorm of controversy was only magnified by the inescapable shadow of her biggest rival.
It's simple. This was a series in the first 3 minutes of the game. Angel Reese offensive rebound. It's 5-3, New York. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Jonquel Jones blocks Angel Reese's 1-foot layup. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Jonquel Jones blocks Angel Reese's 1-foot layup. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses a layup. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Camila Cardoso misses a layup. Actually, it's the wrong direction. I'm reading it backwards. My bad. Camila Cardoso misses a layup. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses a layup.
The rivalry with Caitlin Clark, once seen as a marketing gold mine, quickly became a brutal benchmark that exposed every one of Reese's weaknesses. While Clark was breaking scoring records and living up to the hype, Reese was struggling to reach double digits. The numbers told a damning story. When the Chicago Sky played against Clark's Indiana Fever, ticket prices soared to nearly $90. When Clark was out with an injury for a later game, those same tickets plummeted to just $25. It was a harsh, undeniable referendum on who the real star attraction was. The constant media comparison was no longer a fun narrative. It was a weekly humiliation, highlighting just how far Reese was from the elite level she claimed to occupy. With fans, media, and even her own team appearing to lose faith, you have to wonder, why does the league keep protecting her?
Record. Did Angel Reese break? I didn't say it was a good record. I never said that. Shout out to you, Priceless. I missed this. Historically bad shootings with a E emoji. Angel Reese goes 0 for 7 from within 4 feet of the basket to tie most misses from that distance in the WNBA over the past 10 seasons. This must be a Caitlin Clark fan at ESPN. Surely nobody who follows the ESPN playbook and narrative will write this. This had to have been a darn Caitlin Clark fan. Historically bad. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And how historically bad was it? Yikes. Mamma mia. 2 points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals. 0 for 8 from the field. 33% from the free throw line.
The WNBA is in a difficult position, caught in a calculated gamble. The league has invested millions in marketing the Reese versus Clark rivalry. It drives ratings, sells merchandise, and brings a level of drama that gets mainstream attention. In the modern sports world, controversy is a currency, and Angel Reese, for all her flaws, is undeniably polarizing. The league fears that if they let her fail, they lose one half of their most marketable storyline. So, they continue to push her, featuring her in promos as if she's a dominant force, not a struggling rookie. They are essentially propping up her brand in the hopes that her game eventually catches up. But it's a dangerous game. By rewarding drama over performance, the league risks losing credibility with longtime fans who see other, more deserving players being overlooked. But no amount of marketing can save a player from themselves forever. And experts are already predicting a bleak and lonely road ahead for the Bayou Barbie.
Because it's women being physical.
No, it's because of them.
Let me just call it what it is, a black and a white player.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's because people project what they want on each of them, and those are subjective ideas that they're projecting. If you're going and have this narrative that has been falsely built that people want to, do certain things to Caitlin or do certain things to Angel, you're gonna take that moment and validate your opinion.
Black and white sports supporters, well, it may be time for Angel Reese to consider taking up a different game. Tiddlywinks, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what game she wants to possibly take up. I know one thing, she can't wait for the Unrivaled season to start at this point. Wow. So while the Fever and Stephanie White and all the mess going on there from a standpoint of they got to figure something out because they're not a well-oiled machine, but at least they're winning. While that was happening, something, as the kids would say, diabolical was taking place.
And every new team she lands on will start with the same hopeful energy. The fans will convince themselves, maybe she just needs a new system.
The trajectory from here is a familiar one in professional sports, and it's a tragic one. If things don't turn around, Angel Reese is on the path to becoming a journeywoman, a player who bounces from one struggling franchise to another. After her contract with Chicago is up, it's easy to imagine her being quietly traded to a team like the Seattle Storm or the Washington Mystics, organizations desperate for any spark of star power. The initial press conferences will be full of forced optimism, with coaches talking about her energy and passion. But a few weeks into the season, the reality will set in. Same Angel, same misses, different jersey. She will become a cautionary tale whispered in locker rooms, a warning about what happens when ego and social media fame outgrow talent. It's a story of unfulfilled potential, but the final shocking twist is that Angel Reese herself seems to be orchestrating her own demise. In the end, this isn't just a story about a player in a slump. It's the story of a self-made brand collapsing under the weight of its own hype. Angel Reese was handed the keys to the kingdom, the endorsements, the media attention, the perfect rival to build a legacy. All she had to do was be a solid, dependable professional. Instead, her tenure has been defined by historically bad shooting, a defiant attitude, and a bizarre disconnect from reality. The final thought-provoking question isn't whether Angel Reese can still become a star. It's whether she ever truly wanted to put in the work to be one. She was right when she said people are watching her, but they aren't watching a coronation. They're watching a slow-motion car crash, a spectacle of self-sabotage so dramatic you simply can't look away.
I think first of all, I think she is a hater. That's okay.
Okay.
Like, maybe we're all haters.
What
in
makes
some
her a
regard.
hater to you?
I think that she deeply hates Caitlin Clark.
Why?
And I think
Did you feel that way before RG3 said it?
No. Oh, yes.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, sorry, excuse me. So, I've seen it since way back in the college days. They don't like each other, right? I think Caitlin Clark doesn't display, if she doesn't like her dislike for Angel Reese, I don't think Caitlin Clark displays it. I think Angel Reese, I think she likes to be the villain too.
I'm sorry, but I don't know who need to hear this, but Angel Reese got to be the worst basketball player ever. She's the worst basketball player ever. Like, do y'all guys don't understand this? She only made 2 points with 12 rebounds. She missed a couple of shots and she missed a rebound, bro. She only made 12 rebounds. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 12 rebounds.